What's up, Philadelphia sports fans? I am Anthony Pinto. Long time no see. Welcome to the War Room. We are War Room Philly. How's everyone doing out there? It's kind of roasting here in the war. I got the heat set to 64 and it's still hot in this room. I don't know, chat. I don't know. But I digress. As I do best, how's everyone doing out there in the land of chat? It has been quite some time since we have been on. The Phillies, I got depressed. The Phillies, the last time we were on, the Phillies were still in a playoff run. So we'll talk about some Phillies. We're going to go a little 4 for 4 tonight, to be honest with you. It's just me. We're going to hit every team. We got the in-season tournament going on. It's playing in the background. We'll probably wrap up by the end of halftime. So that's my low-key goal is to halftime be over and we kick into the show. Obviously, if there's content being produced, we're going to keep rolling. I go on all night. Who cares? We got a little bit of 4 for 4 tonight. We got, again, the Flyers have won 5 straight. So they're second in the Metropolitan Division. There's your Flyers talk. But it's all up on the board. So if you're out there in chat and you want to talk something Philadelphia sports and I'm not bringing it up, well, then it's your fault because bring it up. Let me know what you want to talk about. Get in there and get active. But yeah, as far as it goes, again, Eagles are 9-1. They won last night. And my favorite thing about last night is that the game is over and I can forget about the Super Bowl. Because quite frankly, I'm still not over it. Guess what? I don't feel any better after beating the Chiefs last night. And I want to go and win. I want to go and win the Super Bowl. This wasn't a Super Bowl rematch. It was just simply a regular season game. And I do not feel any better about last year's Super Bowl because of what happened last night. And if you do, I need that fucking positivity. So bring it. Let me know. But yeah, we're gonna go again a little bit all over the board tonight. But we can start off with, again, we can kind of talk about the Eagles, because we'll start off Eagles and then we'll wrap up with Eagles, because we'll talk a little bit about next week, too, as the Bills are the next team on the schedule, so we can talk a little bit of the Kelly Greens coming back out. Again, first and foremost, the Eagles, or the Phillies sign Aaron Nola. So we'll get into some Phillies. So we're going all over the board. But yeah, let's go with the Eagles. And we're 9-1, and you win the Super Bowl rematch that I've been hearing about since the schedule came out. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel any better about the Super Bowl. And I also don't feel any better about this year's current Eagles team, which is kind of weird. Because, look, I don't want to sound ungrateful. On one hand, the Eagles are 9-1, best team in the NFL. And you could say that they've yet to play a game to what we think is their full potential. Now, on the other hand, I'm a scorned Phillies fan. And I've thought, all year, it just matters how you play at the end. But the Phillies showed you all year that they couldn't play fundamental baseball. And what happened to them against the Diamondbacks? They didn't play fundamental baseball, and they forgot how to hit. So, this opinion is very much brought to you by a scorned Phillies fan. But on one hand, yes, the Eagles are 9-1, best football team, and that is fucking fantastic. But on the other hand, they've yet to play their best brand of football, and maybe they're just not quite capable of doing that this year. Goddamn ads, I'm sorry for that. If you have Amazon Prime, this is good. Here's my ad. If you have Amazon Prime, and by the way, you'd get ads on Facebook. There's ads everywhere. Unfortunately, we can't fucking avoid them anymore. But football, all in all, football, all in all, is weak this year. Yeah, I'm gonna I'll get into that in a little bit too. It's a good point. But yeah, as far as this Eagles team and how I'm feeling, I love it, Jim. What up? What I'm feeling is just like, yeah, we're 9-1, and we've yet to play a game to what we think. Like, we have yet to see the Eagles go Super Saiyan. Well, we've yet to see them reach their max potential. We haven't even seen them hit 9,000 yet. So, on one hand, I'm like, oh, well, there's room to grow, and we're 9-1. That makes me feel great. Well, on the other hand, I just watched the Phillies team where all year I kept preaching positivity, and okay, well, we'll play right at the right times, but the Phillies quite never played fundamental baseball, and at the end of the day, that was one of their biggest reasons why they did not reach the promised land once again. So I'm just kind of a little, torn, a little scorned, and I just... I'm still on the fence of a lot of things right now. I don't know. I see a lot out in Facebook, in these streets where people are blaming Hurts. People are blaming Brian Johnson. I don't know who to blame right now, honestly. I tend to lean on, I think that right now what I see as a fat guy in a chair watching it on a TV, I see it as a lack of rhythm, a lack of creativity, and it seems like it's more in the play calls than it is on Jalen. And don't get me wrong, Jalen has missed reads. There's been open players. There's blame to go around. I think in Philadelphia we get too caught up on it's got to be one, and it's got to be one. But I am trying to figure out who it's more of, because if it's Jalen Hurts, it could be trouble. I don't think it's Jalen Hurts, though, because, I don't know, that Devontae Smith pass, did that look like a bad quarterback pass to you? Or did that look like a goddamn dime? To me, that looked like a goddamn dime. So, again, I don't want to get one-sided. I don't feel like, especially with Hurts, I don't feel like I'm like a rah-rah guy. I don't think right now that it is Hurts. To me, the reason why this offense is not quite the 12-cylinder... I mean, we're running on 6 cylinders right now, and we know we're a 12-cylinder Jag. And right now, we've seen that this team is just... They're just not there offensively. Now, props to the defense, and we'll get there a little bit later. I don't want to get that lost. But clearly... everyone wanted Jonathan Gannon out of town, and Sean Desai showed up last night. That was probably a signature game out of Sean Desai. On the other side of the ball, and what we've been talking about, we've been talking about all shows so far is kind of Brian Johnson, and I think right now we're trying to figure out is there still adjustments to be made? Is this the best Brian Johnson has to offer? And can this team ultimately reach the goal? And the goal is to hoist that trophy. I see a lot of lack of creativity and play calls, specifically third down. I got to take my salts and take my wounds, and obviously I make the Facebook post yesterday, and I complain about. It seems like every 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, it's a QB draw. And then, of course, he calls one in the end zone and Jalen takes it in. Here's my gripe with the QB draw on 3rd down. You have Jalen Hurts. When you're calling designed quarterback runs, that's good for Gardner Minshew, Nick Foles. When you want to kind of catch a defense off guard. But you have Jalen Hurts, and teams are kind of already looking for the run with Jalen Hurts. So, why not use Jalen Hurts' strengths? Have your wide receivers, have your offense split out, get them spread out, and kind of have them just take the defenders out. And hey, if someone's open, you have a pass. And if someone's not, there's your quarterback draw anyway. I'm just like a little infuriated by these quarterback draws like that just, it seems like it's our only play. It's like, oh, it's 3rd and 4, we're going to go to this. And it's like, I just see a little bit of a lack of creativity in this offense. Now, to play the other side, if you're, I don't want to just say that anyone that says something bad about Jalen Hurts is a hater, but I see haters in my feed. I see, and Jim, I bet you see hate, and you know, I'm not calling you one, in fact. So I'm like, I bet you see some of them haters in your feed too, because some of the haters that I'm talking about are from our old neck of the woods, and I see them out there, and it's like, man, Jalen Hurts misses one pass, and they can't wait to get on Facebook. They can't type away fast enough. And I'm just like, holy shit, some of these people, they sit and wait. Like, I'm like, are you even Eagles fan? And I even see them, they do something that I have done. When I was actively trolling Flyers fans, I would say Flyers fans instead of we. Because I felt that my opinion was so different. Now, if I take you behind the curtain, a lot of it was a troll, and I was trying to do it for like a shtick, and obviously it left me with no viewers, so it was a bad one. But it's man, I see, and it's like, look, you can. I think it's fair. Like, Hurts is, especially in the beginning of the season, like me and Sam Matoro, shout out to We Podcast and We Know Things. We're in a group chat, and he was going. He was just like, it's funny. We kind of flipped. Like, in the beginning, Sam was just play calling. I'm going, damn, Sam, I kind of see, like, receivers open. And now I'm like, play calling. And I see other people being like, well, there's receivers open. And I'm like, well, all right, then I guess it's got to be a little bit of both. Jalen Hurts is buying, like, here's what I will say. I think that anyone that compares Jalen Hurts to Patrick Mahomes, it's kind of, Patrick Mahomes is S tier. Patrick Mahomes is one of one. Now that there's no Tom Brady, and especially if you're taking Aaron Rodgers since he's injured out of the fray, there's no one that's like Hall of Fame. You know this, he's going to Canton. He is one of one. And Jalen Hurts might be in that next tier, one of one, but he's still got to prove it one more season, maybe even 2 more seasons. I agree. And again, like, Jalen is great. He is 100% in that tier under Mahomes. And I don't know that there are many quarterbacks with him. And here is where I think haters get this statement twisted. Because he's under Mahomes, or people may even think that they're comparing him to Mahomes, they get, Eagles fans they overrate this guy. But it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just that the quarterbacks in this league are dog shit right now. Like, who is Jalen Hurts' competition? Dak Prescott? Is it Lamar Jackson? Is it, holy shit, the kid, it escapes me right now, from the Chargers. Like, there are people that, yeah, they're in that echelon, but no one's quite winning, and no one can kind of quite do it consistent enough. And that's where, again, Jalen still has to prove it, but last I checked, for some reason, I got a smartwatch, and it told me that the Eagles are 9-1, and that Jalen Hurts has got pretty good stats this year, and he's right on up there. So it's like, man, if Jalen Hurts was in the quarterback class that Donovan McNabb was in, then yeah, he'd be down there. But in today's NFL, in what we're watching and what we got, guess what? He's almost the Beno facto, like, he's almost the default number 2 quarterback in the league. And I roll with that. And then this dude just comes up clutch when he has to. And that's where we talk about the intangibles. So again, I'm not calling. I don't think Jalen Hurts is on a trajectory to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. God damn, I hope he is. Be good for me as an Eagles fan. Be good for Jalen Hurts personally. But he doesn't have to be. He really doesn't have to. Just honestly, just be in talks with McNabb. That's really like, or just be like, all right, well, he never put the numbers up that McNabb did, but he won 2 Super Bowls, or whatever. One. Let's start with one. But yeah, Jalen would need 2 Super. Yeah. So all right, cool. We're on the same page because I think there's a little bit of delay. I bet you said that comment before I even said it. But yeah, again, Jalen, that or he's going to do it for a tremendous amount of years, and he's going to put up gaudy numbers, and he's going to make Super Bowls. Like, there are other ways to do it too, but I don't think that that's how Jalen gets it done, and that's not a disrespect to Jalen, because Jalen's going to do it. He's going to do it more with his legs than his arm. I don't think there's ever going to be we all know it. McNabb just woke up one day, and I think it was the Rush Limbaugh thing, and McNabb just decided he wasn't going to run anymore. I don't know that that's ever going to happen with Jalen Hurts. But yeah, I agree. With what McNabb did, it's going to be tough to ever take him down. But if you win 2 Super Bowls and you do it over a few, then if you do 2, then you got the one over Nick Foles, and then that obviously means you were here for a handful of years, so you got the longevity too. Well, no shit. Every great quarterback has a good team. Yeah. I think what I hate most is when people say, I read these backwards. Okay, this is going to make sense. What I hate most is when people say, he's got a good team around him. Yeah. Well, here's what I say. So does Dak Prescott. You're right. Yeah, a lot of good quarterback. Breaking news. Tom Brady had stellar defenses his whole career. Tom Brady had, it's people, look, especially when we go from people who have opinions to haters. But haters find a way to hate. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I guess we shake it off. All right, no more of that. That's enough of that. We had to get Taylor Swift reference in, right? We had to get at least one. But yes, again, I think all in all, I still feel pretty damn good about this Eagles team. Take the scorn Phillies fan out of me, and I'm like, all right, I think this team's got room to improve. We're going to play our best ball. Let's go. But it's tough. It certainly is tough. And then just to kind of shift gears into a little bit of Phillies talk, and we'll go back to Eagles, and we'll start talking about the Bills. And then if there's any Sixers or Flyers talk that we want to squeeze in, we will. I like more like that. But yeah, it's going to look. The Phillies went out and signed, unless they were going to go and make a trade and get really creative. They went out and got the best pitcher on the market. 7 years. Yeah, Aaron Nola, 7 years, and I get it. I said no more than 5. That's what I said 2 days ago. And then it says 7 years. And I go, fuck yeah, I'm for it. 172. It ends up being $25 million a year. So what Nola got himself in waiting for free agency, he got himself 2 extra years. Good for you, Aaron. And here's what I say as a Phillies fan who knows we're going to get probably burnt on the back end of those deals. We're going to get burnt on the back end of... We got Bryce Harper for 13. We got Trey Turner for 11. You got Aaron Nola for 7. You're going to get burnt on the back end of those contracts. But guess what? You get a parade, you get 2, no one gives a shit. So let's go win. Let's go win. That's all I can say about the years with Aaron Nola's contract. I'm not here to argue anyone that that's not a good, it's not good. We're going to get burnt on some of these contracts on the back end. But guess what? If those guys are showing up every day in their late 30s with rings around their fingers, we're going to be loving them. We're just going to be loving them. So I don't want to bulldoze those Aaron Nola. I don't want to call you haters. Because Aaron Nola has tortured us through the years. Aaron Nola has hurt us as Phillies fans. But I want a World Series. And I don't know that Blake Snell was the answer. I don't know that. Maybe I'm scared of the unknown. I didn't see anything better than Aaron Nola out there. Now, a trade could have been something that worked, could have happened. But maybe they already looked at those options. So let's go get Yamamoto. Let's get them both. Let's lock it up. That's, we're gonna be hearing about that within the next couple of days. And guess what? If we sign him, I will go live on Black Friday. I don't care. I'm already doing a stream midnight Black Friday on Whatnot. If you're trying to just get in on that, but we're gonna be ripping and selling some Korean 151 Pokemon cards. It's gonna be off the chain. We're starting at literally midnight, Friday morning, Thursday night. I'm gonna be loaded with Tryptophan. Might even be doing some more Whatnot streams on Friday, but I'll do some Twitch streams too. We'll do it all. If Yamamoto's a Philly, oh my god. But as far as this Phillies goes, though, man, side talk. Do you know I gave my nephew years ago a Charizard? Uh-oh. Is your nephew rich now? Oh, he traded it. Oh, no. Not like this. Not like this. Oh, man. That's tough. It is mean in these streets. It is mean in these streets. Yeah, sometimes the kids, they don't know. Oh, okay. Is this a good thing? Is this a story that he... Oh, okay. Like 15 years? Okay. No, not good. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to be like, oh, and the Blastoids ended up being a PSA 10 because it was, like, I thought maybe you ended up, like, getting like, something good out of this. Oh, it sucks, though. Yeah. I still think about, I've sold all of my original cards from back in the day, but, I still, it was like when I was living in Parkwood, someone stole my Charizard. I had 16, like, I had all the original 16 holograms, and someone stole my Charizard, and it, like, literally is why I sold my cards, because, like, every time I saw the they, like, just, like, swapped it, and I didn't notice it until, like, I got home, but every time I would look at the non-holo, I just, like, I got mad at whoever did that, but yeah, now I'm somehow back in the game. I don't really collect, but I just enjoy ripping and shipping. But speaking of shipping, could the Phillies potentially be shipping on out maybe Rojas and more for a guy like Mike Trout? I keep hearing things about Mike Trout and the Phillies. And this could be the hottest take I have ever given on this platform in 12 years. This could be the hottest take I've ever given. But I've always said a hot take is only a hot take if you don't believe it. I believe this. I do not want Mike Trout on the Philadelphia Phillies. There, I said it. I don't... Oh! Chat is with me. I do not want Mike Trout as a Philadelphia Philly. This dude has not played a full baseball season since 2019. He's got 7 years left on his... He's not going to get... Breaking news. People do not get healthier as they age. I loved what Mike Trout was when we signed Bryce Harper. And, you know, the clip that WIP is using is from when Bryce Harper signed. And I think it's ridiculous that they're using a quote from 2019 in a 2023 promo. But that's why WIP is a disgusting radio. I love Harper too. This is not a shot at Harper by any means. This is a shot at WIP. I don't know that getting Mike Trout fixes what this team needs. And sure, if all of a sudden you flip a switch and he's healthy, that's great. We were just talking about how these contracts are all going to catch up to you, and you want to add another one? Do you want to add another one that already looks like a bad contract? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because I'm not. Because I'd rather roll with Marsh, Rojas, find someone else. I would rather the platoon of Marsh and Rojas. I mean, I tend to think we have 3 center fielders right now. Pache, Rojas, and Marsh. I think we're pretty lucky in that situation. Now, it would be nice to maybe trade like 1 or 2 of them and to kind of bulk up. But man, I don't think that Bryce Harper is the answer. Like, I'd rather just go out and get Ohtani at that point. The Phillies, in my opinion, this is from Jim in chat. The Phillies, in my opinion, have a 2-year window to get it done. After we don't know, like, right now that statement's pretty true. We don't know what additions come that maybe add to that window. But, like, right now, to that point, you don't know what you're getting out of Wheeler after 2 years. You don't know where Schwarber's going to be after 2 years. You don't know where Castellanos will be coming, like, towards the end of his contract after 2 years. So right now, that statement's pretty valid. Now, I tend to think that your window is probably more 3-4 years because I project them to try to bolster as people leave. You also might have, Painter. Like, if Painter's a phenom, boom, your window just expanded. But if Painter's a bust, then you're back to 2 years. So it's like things like that. It could always. Would I trade Castellanos now? It depends. Don't mean that to be a cop out. I don't want to get worse. I don't want to trade Castellanos just to get out of his contract. However, if there's a move based behind that, where you're like, all right, we're going to trade him, then 4 days later you hear another move come down the road, bet. I just want the Phillies to win a World Series. Like, so when I look at moves right now, and it's why I'm like looking at Aaron Nola a little differently, and it's why I know 7 years is that's a lot for a pitcher, but I want to win a World Series, and I think bringing Nola back is a step to the World Series, and I just don't know that. Again, maybe it's I have a fear of the unknown, but I didn't see a lot I didn't see a lot out there that would be better than Nola, unless it was a really creative trade, which is harder to do than just bring a guy that literally said, "Hey, I want to be here." which also means something to me. But would I trade Castellanos? Because, like, you know, if you were, again, it's what are you getting? If you still need probably a corner outfielder, right? Unless you're getting a first baseman, and now the first Bryce thing is a thing of the past, which I'd be fine with. But it sounds like Bryce Harper is your first baseman of the future. So then, you know, if you're moving Castellanos, would it be to get more contact just in the lineup, or a little bit different? It's tough. But Castellanos is not, like, irreplaceable to me. For sure. Where are we at? It is halftime. 65-53, Cleveland is up. 7 years is a lot, but the theory is to spread the money thin. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of talking about this a little earlier about Nola, where it's like, you know, you got 7 years, but it's like, it's not like it was 7 years, 200 million, you know? It was 7 years, 172. You're still getting them back for relatively about the same number that he's been making. You're getting them in like the 25 range, and that's manageable. It's manageable, and you're able to build around him still, and you can go out and try to find maybe a bullpen piece, or, you know, again, I think here's what I would say to go back to the trade talk. My number one, if I could trade anyone right now, it's Taijuan Walker. Especially because I really want to get Yamamoto, and that would be a big step in towards, like, freeing up the money, the rotation, a little bit of everything. So Taijuan Walker, if there's one contract that I'm like, all right, just get out of it, it would be like a Taijuan Walker, I think. Because I think he would be able to, that's probably easily replaceable. You paid him to be a 3, and he ended up being, you know, he helped you get to the playoffs. Let's not discredit him. But goddamn, there was a reason why we didn't play him in the playoffs. He earned his way out of the playoffs, like playoff time. Yeah, he eats innings, and that's exactly why I said he helped. I'm glad you kind of elaborated on my point for me there, but he helped because he ate innings. He's being paid to be a 3. He's pitching like a 4. Again, I guess I don't need to just, like, rush him on out of here, but, like, if there's one contract I'm looking to get out of, it would probably be Taijuan Walker. Castellanos is still so hot and cold, but I love the hot. That, like, I'm not rushing him out of this lineup or out of this city. If you can get better, sure. And I guess that's, like, that would be my cop-out to anybody. Like, if you said, would you trade Bryce Harper? I'm like, hey, man, if you could find a way to get better sure. I just don't see that being a thing. Yeah, I think that I would have been fine with Taijuan Walker starting that game that Sanchez did, but I looked at it as, after Topper made the decision, I said, look, Sanchez earned his way into that role. Walker earned his way out of that role. I'm fine with it. Totally, I was kind of fine with it either way, which I don't like when that happens. I like being very strong, hard opinions on one side, but every now and then, in particular with baseball, I think there's more than one right move. And I think it just comes down to the execution, and sometimes that execution's not there, so the manager gets toasted for it. But I think sometimes in baseball there's more than one move. And I think that's why baseball is so fun to argue about, too, or debate. Let's see where we got on the rundown. Yeah, kind of killed it. Crushed the rundown so far. Yeah, and again, I wanted to... we got about 10 minutes left, give or take. So if there's any... Here's what I'll say in particular. If there's any Sixers or Flyers points, bring them on out. Otherwise, as far as the Flyers go, look, they've been a good brand of hockey right now. I'm not actively trying to ignore their brand. I'm kind of like watching this as if it's the first year of the process again, and I would really like them to start losing a little more to let's kind of get that. I feel like we need one more year of good draft picks. And man, I just personal vendetta against Tortorella, but I get it. He's been doing well. He's been doing positive things. Flyers, I'm excited. I don't know all the new guys. Give me some now. It's still tough with the Flyers. Like, they're winning games right now, and I mean, they're doing it because of Joel Farabee. They're doing it with the guys that we know. Couturier had that game-winning goal in overtime the other night, and you have a difference maker in Carter Hart. So if he's healthy and he's out there, he's going to be kind of why you're hanging around and you're getting these wins, which is why I'm like, rest him as much as possible. Carter Hart is still kind of the one guy I look at on this team and I'm like, he stays, and you build around him. Maybe it's because I'm a scorned Flyers fan and it's been so hard for us to find a goalie that we got one and now I don't want to get rid of him. But you watch them. I'm actually the other way around. I've given up on the Flyers for years. Now that it feels like there's kind of a direction with the team, I'm okay with watching them, albeit even if they're losing. I'm almost like lose 3-2, 2-1. Like, lose. Carter Hart looks good, and that's perfect. Or if we're scoring, let's hope it's these guys that we want to build around. But here's what I'm kind of saying with the Flyers is I'm kind of looking and I'm like, I look at the Flyers like this. And I'm just like, who are my pieces? Who is going to be here in 3 years, 4 years when this team starts to turn it around? And right now, from my eyes, I just see Carter Hart. Maybe Joel Farabee. But I agree, nothing is better than with playoff hockey. But I am fucking sick of making the 8 seed. And what I'm even worse about is chasing 8 seeds. I want the Flyers to build a 1 seed. Let's go for a 1 seed. Hey, if we build and we try to make a 1 seed, maybe we fall and we're a 6-7 seed, we're still in the playoffs, that's great. But I am, like, for me as a Flyers fan, that has, especially someone that has done this since 2011, God damn it, I am so tired, to the point where there were years where I actively, like, trolled Flyers fans and I didn't relate. Like, I said I wasn't one because I was so hurt from them. I was just like so tired of this team. Like, oh, we just missed the playoffs. But even if you did make the playoffs, where were you gonna go? Nowhere. Like, just because sometimes in 8, like, we made that one run as a 7 seed, and everyone just thought that was going to be the new norm, that we could just chase that every year and make the Stanley Cup. And it just kind of drove me nuts as a fan to see the same thing over and over and over and over again. That when we signed Braun, or what was the defenseman? It was Braun, right? When we traded for him, and there was Ristolainen most recently, that's when I literally gave up. Once they traded for Ristolainen, I said, they overpaid for this guy via the trade. Now they're going to overpay him via the contract. They did that. I was like, look, I'm not a Flyers fan anymore. Go Avs, go. So, like, again, there's been, like, 2 times where I've, like, over the span of doing this show, that I've, like, dropped my allegiance to the team as a shtick. But, no, I'm here. I'm really hoping this team just gives... And this is why, if John Tortorella wasn't the coach, I think this team would be in a better spot. And it's still why I turn him on, and then I see him on the bench, and alright, I got a personal vendetta against the dude. He's been on every team that I've hated my entire life. Now he's my coach. That's step 1. Step 2 is this dude wants to win, and I don't, because I need 1 more year, maybe 2 more years of some good draft picks to rebuild what has been garbage for years. Now let's go after this. But But yeah, I loved that when the Avs won the World Series. God damn it, too much baseball talk. When the Avs won the Stanley Cup, I was happy, but I mean, I wasn't in a parade, right? Like, I disagree. Hockey is funny that way, but they're sticking with them. Torts, yeah. Hey, again, he's a good coach, and he is making these players better. Like, I have to say that objectively. But I kind of think that the goal right now should be to build a program and then not be winning, and he's going to go out there and try to win every game possible. So, I mean, it's just my philosophy. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We'll see. But I fear the 8th seed chase. And with the Flyers, let's just keep gathering. Let's just get these assets. Let's trust the process. And let's just move slowly to a 1 seed. God, I just want to see a Stanley Cup. Can we see, since the Wells Fargo has been erected, giggity, not one championship in that building as far as Philadelphia teams go. I ain't talking about Evander Kane's goal. But I mean, like, the Sixers and Flyers have not won either of their championships in so goddamn long. 1980, 1974. We were in second. I know. It's insane to me. I still think it's an... Yeah, I think it started out... This is stupid that I know this. I think it started out as the Core State Center. Then my favorite iteration was it was the first Union Center. Because we called it the FU Center. Then it was Wachovia. Now it's Wells Fargo. Also, Victor. Yeah, our gym, right? How about that? And now I just got a 20-year reunion invite on Facebook, and I almost blew my brains out. I just got, what up, Murph? It's a Parkwood reunion. It's a Parkwood reunion. It's Parkwood reunion. Yeah, Chicky. Now see, that's what I like. Chickies is right down the street from me. I'm for that. I'm like, the location has me sold a little bit. The location has me sold. Murph, if you go, I swear I'm in 100%. Even if I mean, obviously you got family here, but if you want to get turned, I got a house. So Murph got more kids and Murph said he's going for Rivers. He told me. He said, Rivers just had another one. He said, I'm going for Rivers. Oh man. But yeah, man, we just Murph, you said what did you miss? We've kind of gone 4 for 4. We're in like the final thoughts segment. I was thinking that I would start to wrap this show up as halftime ends. So whereas I guess the second half starts. Go Irish Catholic boy. Yeah, man. But yeah, we kind of, I guess the hot take from today's show, Murph, was I don't want Mike Trout. You kind of know that, though. You know that already. Me and Greg, I guess, have already both been on that. I hate when we agree, me and Greg. I like it so much more when we can argue. I like it so much more when Greg and I can argue. But, yeah, I do. What is fun about the Trout thing is my brother and I argue about it constantly. He calls me a traitor. Keith, in fact, I need to get Keith on here because Keith says he says that Mike Trout is his Bobby Ryan. And he's like, I don't care what the cost, what it is, I want him. And I'm like, as soon as you say Bobby Ryan, I can't argue, but I don't know that I ever wanted Bobby Ryan at the detriment to a World Series or a Stanley Cup. No interest. Yeah, see, I guess, uh, what key drop, yeah, see, I'm kind of upset with you guys because I thought I'd be getting like blasted, and I was hoping that like this would be a steaming hot take and everyone would hate me for it because I feel like I never have those and I want them. I'm not gonna like make up. See, that's the thing. That's my theory on hot takes is it's only a hot take if you truly, if you don't believe it, but you're just saying it. But I believe that Mike Trout is not the answer for the Phillies. Now, catch me on this show excited as hell if he's ever a Philly. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure I'll rationalize that faster than anything. But realistically speaking, I don't know that that's the move. But, if he's some heroes here and then he hits his first home run in April, I'm going streaking. It is what it is. I'll flip flop quicker than a Democrat on that. But man, yeah, yeah. Keith's been he's all over the place. I got 3 co-hosts and they're all busy, and so am I. But that's like I said, the title in here was a rude awakening to how busy I've been. The last time that I was that we were on, the Phillies were still in a playoff run. So feels bad, man. Feels bad. But hey, we're here. We're back. And you're going to be getting us at least once a week from here on out until the end of the Eagles season. That I can promise. There's no more breaks. There will be, if anything, more shows, more content. And if you are a collector or if you just want to hang out, the link is in like the About section on Twitch. If you click on that and just look up War Room Philly on Whatnot, we're gonna be doing some Black Friday stuff. We're gonna be getting it. So there's gonna be a lot of content coming in the next months, plural. But with that, yeah, I kind of got nothing left. I got the app now. That's what I like. That's what I like to hear. I got nothing really left for tonight on the docket. So, final thoughts. First of all, my final thoughts are, I hope y'all out there have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. You know what? Real quick, drop them sides. I haven't done that in a while. What's your favorite side? I got Murph and I got at least 2 people in chat still. Come on. Rip this shirt. Not this shirt. Not my Reggie White. Yeah, I need to know, especially, I know there's a cook in chat. Jim, do you do the turkey? Are you smoking it? You doing anything? Or you would say stuffing? First of all of my favorite part about Thanksgiving are the sides. I will load up my plate with sides and have like this much turkey. Like, I'll take 1-2 pieces. I'm not the biggest turkey guy, but like I appreciate it on Thanksgiving. It's when I eat it once a year. Yeah, I figured you were out there smoking that thing. That's where it's at. Anything smoked is just better. I'm smoking a turkey when I go to my grandmom's. That's awesome. Oh, so you got like your own thing. That's what's up. I like that. I want dessert and cocktails and football. There you go. That's a good side, Murph. Fat Rocky cooks up a feast. Put turkey on white bread, butter, and smother it up in gravy. Yeah, I like I do like the like little. I do like my leftovers sandwich. Just a little mayo, white bread. Boom. That's it. Little Hellman's. Open face. Now, my younger brother is a chef, and I think it was last year or 2 years ago, he did like a bourbon, like brined turkey. Oh, it was the best. It was the best turkey I think I've ever had. Notice, Mom's not watching, right? Shit. Yeah, Nikki's the cook. Yeah, he's Vinny's out. Although you know what? I shouldn't discredit Vinny because Vinny's out there on the West Coast doing the like farm to table thing too. He's more like growing the cows and shit. But Vinny, I mean, he sends me some pictures too, and Vinny can. Lo and behold, I'm the worst cook in the family, and I think I can hold my own pretty decent, as well. But dude, I'm telling you, Vinny grows cows out in Oregon. He waters them and shit. He waters. I remember you found. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was like second, third grade. That's right. Yeah, tell him that. He thinks that. They don't think. But yeah, it was Nikki the one. I was stoked to have Vinny. Then he happened, and he was a nightmare. He grew into be a hell of a man. But y'all remember that dude he was a product of the WWE in the 6th grade. He'd be walking around 2nd grade just doing the Joel Embiid to everybody. Doing the Joel. Oh, man. He would tell anyone. Sister Mary be yelling at him. He'd be like... Oh, man. I got... Ooh, okay. Still, part of what kept me out was COVID, and I'm still got that you guys know that COVID mung lung that you get for the week or two. I still got it. I can't get rid of the mung lung. I swear, both times that I've had COVID, confirmed COVID at least, I was kind of all right in the chest during, but it's after the fact, and I'm just I sound like I'm one of the friggin' smoking a pack a day. My wires are so tangled up. I'm sorry if you guys. I keep trying to get rid of them. I drank my way out of COVID. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, my last bout with COVID was pretty mild, but it's the shit that lingers that's worse. It's you know what I mean? That right there. If I could just, that was gone, we'd be fine, chat. But yeah, all right. I know what I'm doing for the. I'll be honest, chat. I took stock of my liquor cabinet yesterday, and I noticed that there was one thing I was missing. It was whiskey. So, I need to get the whiskey back for my my apple pies. I got the Bartesian, and I do the little pods, and I got the apple pie pod, and it's choice. And I definitely want an apple pie. I'll be drinking that tomorrow night or Thursday night, Friday morning on Whatnot for sure. That's gonna be my little secret. Oh man, but yeah, chat. It's been a fun one, absolutely. Facebook.com/WarRoomPhilly. Turn notifications on here. Drop us a follow if you're new, and we'll be back. Maybe even this week. Definitely next week. So yeah. I don't know. This was a fun one, guys. Thank you all for the double bird. I actually have a picture. You guys have probably seen it of Vinny. It's me, Vinny, and Nikki doing the recreating the manger scene, and Vinny's just flipping off the nun that's giving us the picture. That's definitely. Yeah, I mean, if there was ever a day that I had my seat reserved for me in hell, it was that day. But, we take those. But, guys, thank you all for tuning in, both live and on demand. Shout out to the YouTube crowd. We will be back next week talking about a 10-1 Eagles, a 9-2 Eagles. 10-1 Eagles? It's going to be a tough one, which is why, again, stay tuned Sunday. There could be a little pregame show for that. We got a 4 o'clock show, or game, I'd like to get in on that and do a little pregame show, because I feel like if there was one thing we didn't talk enough about tonight, it's the fact that we have a very good game coming up. And it's going to be Kelly Green week, which is why we got the Kelly Green on. So if there was one thing we really didn't talk enough about tonight, because we were still kind of so keyed in on last night, it was that Bills game. So you could see us again pregame Sunday right here, twitch.tv/warroomphilly. But yeah, with that, guys, it is time to put a bow on this pretty little show. I am Anthony Pinto, and we are out of here.